Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome to the week 1 go-to training. My name is John Morton and I am the instructor for section number 3. So if you're sitting here wondering who's John Morton, that's not my instructor, no worries. All of the instructors take turns with the weekly go-to training so that way you can get a slightly different perspective. Maybe from a different instructor who you haven't met before or wouldn't meet otherwise. Is everyone able to see my screen? There should be, it's my Full Sail Online. Okay, excellent, great, yes, perfect. So everyone's there, everyone's paying attention. Awesome, I'm glad to hear it. If for any reason, anything that I covered today, if you miss it, if you need to go back to it, if you want to review it, we're recording, so we'll be able to go back. You can watch the archived version of it. I'm just going to go over kind of what, basic fundamentals, what we're doing in the class this month. I hope everyone has already gone into the Getting Started section of Full Sail Online. I'm going to open it up so we can all kind of check it out together. So you can go through the psychology of play roadmap, kind of get some ideas about what's going to be happening throughout the month. Everyone definitely check on your professionalism. It'll explain how your professionalism grade works, what that looks like. So definitely make sure to take some time and look at that. Don't forget to read over your professionalism. Troubleshooting and resources, also a good one, where you can go through and figure out kind of in many cases Full Sail Online support is going to be your absolute best friend when you run into issues. But that's all there in the Getting Started section. We're actually going to talk about how to format our discussion posts. I know that's one of the things that will come up in week 1 that everyone's probably going to have questions about. But right here, we have everything in week 1. Should look something like this. The first thing on everyone's chart should be activity 1.0, Essentials E3 Pre-Assessment. I'd encourage everyone to go and check that out. If you'll notice here, the due date on that is August 31st. So today's the 30th. So that's tomorrow. Make sure that you get this done. If you haven't done it already, do it today, do it tomorrow. But make sure that you get it done. It's there. We don't want anybody to miss it. So just make sure that you check that out. We've all got our community boards. This is a place where everyone can kind of just talk amongst yourselves. If you have something that you want to talk about with your class, maybe you want to let everyone know about something that's happening or a club that you're in that you want people to join. Really, kind of anything there. I'd say make sure you keep it appropriate. We don't want to go off the rails there, but it's a good place for everyone to kind of you can share and talk about what's going on, how your month is going. Kind of get some consensus. If you say, oh, how's everybody feel about this? How's everyone doing on this assignment? So on and so forth. It's a pretty good idea to go on the community board and start posting in there. We're all here in the virtual lecture. As you can see, it's for attendance credit. So when we're done with this, make sure you click on that, scroll down here to the bottom, and click the completion button. Mark as completed. Make sure that you do that. That's how you're going to let your instructor know that you've completed this, that you were either here for the live session now, or that you watched the archived version. So make sure you click the Mark as completed button. That is how you will receive your attendance credit. That's this. It's going to be the same thing each week. You'll go down, click on it, make sure that you click it, or else your instructor will not know that you were here. So please make sure that you do that. Get that done before Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. After that, we've got our readings. Pretty straightforward. Make sure you read them. Get them all done. Definitely do the readings before you jump on the brain teaser. If you do it in a different order, it will probably be not as much fun. To answer a question I got, clicking on that is how they will know that you're here. I don't necessarily report back to all the instructors. I yeah, so you'll want to click on that and make sure to get your attendance credit. Click on that. As I was saying, we've got our brain teaser down here, activity 1.7. Please make sure you do your readings. It's those readings are where the brain teaser comes from. So if you're doing the brain teaser and you run into something you don't remember from the readings, you can always go back and check, reread the readings, look through them. That brain teaser can stay open for, I believe, up to 24 hours. So, if you run into an issue, you get confused about something, please just definitely go back and check that. Next, the discussion board for activity 1.5, the discussion play. I went through this with my class, but I'd like to go through it with everyone just to kind of give everyone some ideas. You get the question. You don't necessarily have to do your activities in order. You can do your discussion board. Again, the initial post is due on Thursday, so you want to make sure your initial post is up by Thursday. The other activities, you can do them in whatever order that you want, but I would definitely recommend do the readings before you try and take the test. It will be hard to do if you don't do it in that order. So right, for the discussion board, it'll look roughly like this. When you go and open it, your initial post, like it says, is due Thursday, 11:59 p.m. Make sure that you're doing that. Make sure you get it in. That's tomorrow. Make sure you make your initial post, and your initial post should be your outline for your play activity for the week. Make sure you're completing the entire schedule, filling in every day. One of the things that I'll tell everyone right now, when you're working on the schedules, I realize that kind of some people working on a schedule is maybe new or is different. Treat the schedule building process in an ideal way. If you had no time restrictions, otherwise, you were free time wise and could do what you wanted to, treat the schedule that way. So if you make a schedule and you don't get to everything on it, it's not the end of the world. Just kind of treat it, just exactly like that. I'm gonna just stop real quick and let's keep the chat box professional. Yeah. Professionalism is a big thing. I'll be more than happy to go through this afterwards, but again, this is for we're using this. It's not a social platform, I guess is what I'm getting at. If you have something you want to communicate to me, or you have something important you want to communicate to your classmates, feel free to use it that way. But this isn't a social setting. This is effectively the same as you having a side conversation in my lectures, which I don't appreciate. So just keep that in mind when you use the chat box in GoToTraining. I appreciate it. So right, we'll fill out our weekly schedules. I'll go through how to make those, and then you will answer the following questions. One thing about this, when you answer the questions, answer them one paragraph per question. So, 3 to 4 sentences is what I look for and most other instructors are looking for. Lewis, is there a way to add all the deadlines from FSO to iCal? You can do it all manually, but no, not that I'm familiar with. Not a perfect migration way. Yeah, Parker, you're supposed to fill those in. I will get to how shortly. So bear with me for a moment. Okay, yeah, Andrew says you can set up email notifications on your phone. Excellent. So right, answer all these questions. Make sure that you're answering them, complete sentences, full paragraphs, 3 to 4 sentences. That's what I'm going to be looking for. If that's what I'd want. If you go kind of scroll down a little bit past that, there's a rubric. So this rubric down here is what I use when I do my grading. So, I'm checking these things off. I say, does it thoroughly address all of the questions and meet length requirements? So are you going through? And yeah, I'll go over the how to insert a chart. But right, thoroughly address all the questions, meet length requirements, provide clear and specific examples and/or concepts of in the initial post. So what that means is, are you able to tie the material that we're reading back into the discussion that we're having? So I want to know, this is your opportunity to say, hey, I did the reading, I paid attention in class. Here's kind of how this all relates back in. So it's probably not a bad idea to at least look over the readings before you make your initial post. Then we have the next one, responds to at least 3 classmates using the RISE model. I wish we could italicize and bold and highlight using the RISE model. It's up here. There's going to be, the RISE model is given to you in every opportunity, every instance where you're asked to use the RISE model. So what I would encourage everyone to do is to actually write out those letters, the R-I-S-E. So the first one is a reflection. Doesn't have to be long, but I'd say at least a sentence per point. So a 1-sentence reflection on your peers' post, what they've said, an inquiry, ask a question, ask them a little bit to go a little bit more in depth on something. Make a suggestion, say, hey, why don't you try doing this thing, and then elevate that, kind of keep the ball rolling, so to speak. And that's the RISE model. So you want to leave RISE model feedback for 3 of your peers. So make sure that you do that. Make no spelling and grammar errors. It's worth 5 points. And then meets the initial post deadline. Big or here, respond to an additional classmate. So if for some reason, Thursday comes and goes and you forgot to make your post, still make your post, and then go and respond to an additional peer. So you'll be responding to 4 peers instead of 3 peers. So that, and you can still earn all your points back that way. Again, all of it is due Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. But that is what we're going to be working with. Yeah, every time that you respond to one of your peers, you should be using the RISE model for the discussion boards. And you need to respond to 3 peers. Sorry, I'm going through the questions. Yeah, the chat back and forth on one post is not. I'd say make RISE model feedback on 3 of your peers' posts that they made, their initial posts. You thought the initial everything initially is due Thursday, so you need to make your initial post. Where you post your schedule and you answer these 6 questions, that's due Thursday. The feedback you can do ahead of time, but if the feedback is absolutely due by Sunday. And like I said, if you, for some reason or another, missed that Thursday deadline, you could respond to an additional peer and still earn your points back. So it seems like everyone is anxious to see how the tables are made, and here's how it is. It's a little bit confusing initially because the table doesn't show up right away. You kind of have to the lines on it don't all show up initially, but you go here where it says table and you drop down to insert table. So here your table shows up. And I'm going to want to start working on days of the week. That's how it's going to be. So I have I'm going to start inserting columns for each day of the week. So I have a Monday column. I'll drop down. I'll insert another column to the right of that. That'll be my Tuesday column. And so on and so forth. I'll go through it and build it out just so that everyone gets the full experience. And you just keep on inserting your columns. And feel free to use days of the week abbreviations, as long as it's clear. And we're going Monday through Sunday, so full week, not just the weekdays. All right, so there we go. We've got our full week, and we have essentially another column right over here. So this week we're going to be working on play. So we put our play activity. We put play. As we move forward, we would put, we could add another row below that where, so next week we'll be working on fit and we'll add it in, so on and so forth, where you just keep adding to the table. Like this. And now I'll go in and I will start putting things in for each day of the week. So, for Monday, let's say I'm going to play Settlers of Catan, which is a board game I love, with my family. So I'm going to go play a board game with my family. The game I'm going to play is Catan. What I'd say to everyone about when you're making your schedule, Catan is awesome. I agree. Be pretty specific. If you're going to, play a video game, cool. I love video games. That's great. Let me know what game you're playing. If you're going to be watching TV, if you're going to watch Netflix, tell me what show you're watching. Tell me what you're doing in these categories. That's kind of, where I mean, it's where I think everyone should be as specific as they can be. And again, if you let's say you put things out there, and let's say I don't, tonight I don't have time to play Catan, and so I do something else instead. It's not, it doesn't have to, you don't have to follow the schedule verbatim. It's more an ideal schedule. What does an ideal schedule look like to you? What would you do if time weren't an issue and you could just kind of do what you wanted? What I will say is fill in each day of the week. We're full schedules is what we're looking for. So make sure that you've kind of fully completed everything. That's what I would look for. So make sure that you fill it up. So this week you're only working on play. As we go through, we build throughout the week. But right, that's what we're looking for that first question. Question number 1: build your schedule. And then you can go in and post underneath it. You can you can post your schedule and then start answering the questions. Kind of whatever works for you, but that's how you build the schedule out. So you can go, you can kind of drop into whatever day you want, and start writing the things. But yeah, I would definitely say be as specific as you can be, especially when it comes to the work section. If you write schoolwork, I realize everyone will be doing schoolwork, so it's pretty apparent that that's what it would be. Yeah, I got a question that, can you complete the schedule? Can you fill it out like it's an ideal schedule? Yeah, I would want to know, what does a great schedule look like to you? If you don't make it to all the things, don't feel bad. That's not an issue. This week you only have play. That is correct. Sorry, I'm going up. Questions are coming in faster than I can read them and answer them. These things we have stuff for every day. On the last week 4, we should have a completely full schedule. When it comes to each category, these are going to be specific to you. So for play, what's play to you? What does that constitute? What does that actually mean? Similarly with fit, I talked about this in my class yesterday. But fitness can really encompass a lot of things. That can be physical fitness. It can be, like making healthy eating decisions, taking care of what you put into your body. It can be a mental fitness thing. If you, want to focus on spiritual fitness, it can be that. It's really up to you. You don't have to use someone else's idea or concepts of what each category means. It's what do these things mean to you? I think some of them are a little bit more cut and dry, like work. Work again. I'd say write your assignments in there, right? Here are the assignments I'm going to work on. I'm going to lecture these days. I'm going to work on assignment 1.2 and 1.3 and on Monday, and I'm going to work on these assignments on Tuesday, and so on and so forth. I'd say that's probably the place where it's most important to prioritize. You want to go through and look at all your deadlines and dates, and then add that all into the work schedule. Push, we'll get to it in week 4, but again, same thing. Is how are we pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zones? How are we working to achieve at a higher level, be the best people that we can be? That's kind of what I'm looking for with that. So does anyone have any questions about the schedule? I'm sorry, they fly by, and I try to kind of keep our lecture going, but also respond to as much as I can. Does anyone have any remaining questions about that? If you want, you can use the hand raising button. I feel like trying to read as fast as everyone types is a little bit cumbersome, but okay, I see a hand up. I'm going to call on Lacey. Hello? Nope, not there. Okay, Brian Grady, are you there? Hello?
Oh, yeah. Am I talking or typing?
Oh, yeah. No, you're talking. What's going on? Everyone can hear you.
Oh, hi, everybody. Is the schedule starting today, like Wednesday, or do we have to think back to like Monday, what we were planned or whatever?
Started on Monday.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Anything else?
no, that's good.
Okay, yeah. Start on Monday, definitely. Okay, let's see. Who else has their hand up? Rachel, Goats?
Hi, Gets.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Can we do an activity twice?
Can you do an activity twice?
Yeah.
In your schedule, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
The thing I would say about that is, again, I would try and be specific. Like if you're going to, if you're like, I'm going to play basketball, a couple nights a week, that's fine. But if it's something like, if it's a more generic, like I'm going to play video games, I would say what game you're playing. Or, if I'm reading a book, like, let us know what book you're reading. Just to kind of like give a little bit more information. And, be as specific as you can. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Looking for more hands. Wolfgang. Wolfgang, are you there?
Hello?
Hello. I can hear you, but you're very quiet. Are you far away from your microphone?
No.
Oh, there we go. It just got louder.
Is it good?
It's perfect. Yeah.
All right, sorry.
No, don't be. You're good. What's up?
All right. The question I had was for when we post the schedule, I was wondering, when we post our schedule, do we answer the questions like right under it, or do we have to like send the questions, or do we answer the questions through the feedback section?
No. So right. So you'll make your schedule, which is question, this effectively is question number 1. And then, right, you'll answer the other questions 2 through 5 or 2 through 6 just below that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. So just the way I'm doing it right here on the thing, you can just kind of start adding the answers to the other questions.
Okay.
And just go on and go from there.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Going back, looking for more hands raised. Oh, a hand went down. Okay, I was going to get to it. Let's see. Parker Demond. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So my question is, for this whole entire schedule, do we literally just fill out one thing for play, or can we use your example that you put on the video?
What do you mean?
Like, so you got like play, fit, work, and push. Would we continue all the way down to 7 since it's like 7 days of the week, or would we just fill out one entire thing?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going full schedules, like all week long.
Okay.
Yeah, every day of the week. Is that what you're asking?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You're gonna fill in every day of the week.
Okay.
Yep. Alrighty. Aaron, are you there? Aaron, Vinick?
Yes.
Hey, what can I do for you?
I wanted to ask, in terms of like replying to fellow students,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say in terms of content we should have in that? Because like I don't really know what would you say for feedback when it comes to just doing stuff you like. It's not something really easy to
Sure.
say.
So when you see someone, they've posted their schedule for the week and they've answered these other 5 questions. You'll read over what they read, and then you'll post based on that. So you'll reflect on what they've said. Let them know, hey, I read what you said. Here, it's kind of my thoughts on that. Here's what I think. Ask them a question. Inquire, say, hey, I saw you're really into this video game. What level are you on? Where, what boss are you working on right now? Or you read this book. What do you think about this author? Make a suggestion. Say, hey, I see, you're really into, this specific game. Have you tried this other game that's similar that you might like? And then elevate the conversation, kind of keep the ball rolling. Say, here are some things that I'm doing that I think you might also find interesting. So on and so forth. So the RISE model really builds out how you should be responding to people. Does that make sense?
Okay. So it's more like a just normal discussion you'd kind of have with somebody.
Yeah, but specifically to guide this RISE model. So the reflect, inquire, suggest, and elevate. Just address each one of those points in your feedback, and that's it. The feedback is just, I'm for my students, I say, put one sentence in for each one of these points, and you'll have met the requirements for me. I think that everyone else is roughly within that kind of same mindset. So, a paragraph that you write back to somebody and say, hey, I'm addressing these 4 points, and just kind of keep the discussion going with them.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, Zachary. Yarnit? Are you there?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi. So I was wondering, I have a auto-populated YouTube list that I use, and so like if I were to just put YouTube, obviously that's vague. How should I go about like saying that?
Is the YouTube list is like educational stuff? Is there like a topic or a trend that goes along with it? Is there something like that, or is it literally just like a random list of videos? Like, what would you say like your experience is driving towards?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like if you're like, oh, I'm watching videos on, if I'm like, I'm getting down, like I have a K-pop, video list and I'm just going to watch K-pop videos all day. You could be that. You could like YouTube parentheses K-pop, or, YouTube parentheses area of interest for you. It could be scrapbooking or stamp collecting, or I'm really into plants. So I actually watch a lot of plant videos on YouTube. I would be like YouTube parentheses plants. So I would do it in that kind of that framework. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, looking for some more questions. Brian, do you have your hand up? Brian Grady?
No, I thought I was putting it down from earlier, and it put it up again.
I lower everybody's hand, or I try to remember. It's cool. All right. Let's see. Going back. Who do we have? Let's see. Tyler Spencer, are you there?
Yeah, how's it going?
Excellent. How are you?
Wonderful. I got up early enough to get some breakfast in me beforehand, and we're all good.
Perfect. Sounds like you're just it's a bell ringing success of a day so far. So awesome. What can we do for you?
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if let me see. Go back up here. Do we need to just put one thing, or is it all right? Is it going to be acceptable if I put 2 or say even 3 play activities, or should we just stick to 1 per row?
Yeah, no, you can put as many in as you want. I mean, the kind of what meets the requirements is 1 per day.
Okay.
So that's what would meet the requirements. But if you want, you can put 2 or 3, or you can put as much in as you want. I really just kind of give everyone like, hey, if you want to make sure you're meeting the requirements, you need to do X, Y, and Z.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
All work. Yep, all work and no play, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, then there you go.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, I'm trying to go through. I keep reading questions, and it's a little bit difficult. Which I'm going to stick with calling on raised hands. It makes my life a little bit easier. D'Anthony, saw your hand was up. Do you have a question, D'Anthony?
Yeah. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
All right. I don't know if it was answered earlier, but if I already posted mine thing. I posted on like the first day.
Awesome.
And I didn't put it in the table version. Like,
right.
Will I get points off for not doing it?
Version, or how did you do it?
I just like Monday I'm doing blah blah blah. Tuesday I'm doing that. I just put it in paragraph form.
I would encourage you to go back and do it in the table form, just because as you add categories to it week to week, that table really keeps it clean and keeps it looking nice. I would ask my instructor. You're not in my section, are you?
I am not.
Okay. I would just ask your specific instructor for your class, like, hey, is this paragraph form okay, or would you like me to go back and change it? For me, I prefer to see it in, the format that we kind of have, like that I laid out for everyone. It's the easiest way to do it. It seems to make the most sense. But you could just ask them if you wanted to and see if they would make an exception for you.
All right. Thank you.
Not a problem. Alrighty, I'm scrolling through. I'm still looking for hands raised. Hunter, are you there? Oh, maybe Hunter's not there. Oh,
no, I'm here.
Hey, Hunter.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what's going on?
I had a question about, the questions. The third question: what challenges might prevent you from following up your play plan? Yeah. What if there's no challenges?
I would probably write, I don't foresee any challenges. However, if crazy situations came up, here's how I would deal with them. That's probably how I would address that. Like, I don't know, what if I got a flat tire this week and I had to go deal with that? Like, what if other things got in the way of me achieving my play schedule? How would I deal with it that way?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no
problem. That helps.
Cool. Alrighty. Right. Tyron? Anybody? No. I thought I had someone. Let's see.
Hi.
Oh, you're there.
Yeah,
hey.
Yeah. The fit, work, and push. Can you describe that, or do we just have to have the play activity for the column?
Week 1 is just play. It
Okay, so
builds
just
week
have the
to
plan.
week. Yeah, it builds week to week. You'll go through and kind of get in depth with each one as you move through. But for week one, it's just play.
All right, just play. All right, thank you.
Not a problem.
All right.
Alrighty. To answer the question, for these, so we'll put in our play schedule, and then for each of the questions, 1 paragraph responses. So a total of 5 paragraphs, 1 per question, plus, you're going to be responding to your peers. You're going to be responding to those 3 peers. So roughly 1 paragraph per response to your peers. So roughly, over the course of the week, 8 paragraphs is probably where we'll be writing wise. Hey, Jordan Harrington, are you there? Do you have a question? I saw your hand was up. Hello. Oh, Jordan looks
Can you
like
hear
you
me
might.
now?
Oh, I can. Yes. What's going on?
All right. For the RISE model, is that a paragraph for each, like for a paragraph for reflect, paragraph for inquiry,
No,
or
it
is
is
it all in one?
1 sentence per. So I'd give like a 1 sentence of like a reflection, one, ask a question in, 1 sentence. So a total of a paragraph per response. Does
Okay.
that make sense? So you only would need to one for reflect, 1 for inquire, 1 for suggest, and 1 for elevate to meet the bare minimums.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
No problem. I saw a question that was asking about whether or not you'd have to document these. That is a different activity, which I will cover. That's actually your play demonstration, which is a different activity. I just want to make sure I get all the questions answered for this activity before I move on. Let me just check. I think I saw one more hand up. Janicia? I think I may have butchered your name, and I apologize if I did.
It's okay. No, you didn't.
All right.
You answered all my questions.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask everybody to kind of be respectful, please. Like,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
trying to keep it.
Go ahead. What was the question one more time?
No, you answered my questions through
Oh,
everybody else,
all
but
right.
I just wanted to say and ask everybody to be respectful to you because I'm trying to keep up with the questions other people are asking, and I can't even do that because it's like too much playing around. We're too old to be playing around, so please respect him.
Thank you very much, GC. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So I think that's all the hands raised. I think I got them all. If not, I'm happy to go back. But right, so that is everything that hopefully we've covered all the points for the discussion boards. Again, the initial post, your schedule and answer the 5 questions should be posted by Thursday, no later than 11:59 p.m. And then, right, you'll respond using the RISE model for giving feedback before Sunday to 3 of your peers. Moving forward, we've got our play demonstration. And for our play demonstration, one of the days that you're, while you're engaging in play, you'll want to take a photo of that. Hey, here's me engaging in play. And then you're going to want to write a paragraph about that experience. Here's the activity I was doing. Here's what it felt like. Here's kind of maybe some of the thoughts and the feelings that it evoked. Maybe you could do your readings ahead of time and say, oh, like this is this play personality that came out when I was doing this. Yes, Stephanie. It's dealing with I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. You're right. I'm sorry. Back again. The qualities of play and play personalities, which are part of the reading, you can go through those, show kind of where those fall in, so on and so forth. So you'll want to go through and do the readings ahead of time, and then talk about that in play personality wise, in the activity. So take a photo of yourself engaging in play, write one paragraph, talk a little bit about, what's going on, what's happening, what play personality you're embodying, and some of the characteristics and qualities of play that come out when you have that experience. So those are covered in the readings. They'll definitely get covered, probably in your lectures if they haven't already. So just be on the keep your ears perked up for those topics: play personalities and qualities of play. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And right, so take a picture, put a paragraph in there in describing it, and go from there. Does anyone have any questions about that? The play personalities is in the readings. Yeah, that is correct. Does it have to be a photo of ourselves, or can it be a photo we take while doing an activity? You can take a photo, like you can give me like a screenshot if you're playing a video game. Something like that is fine, as long as it's actually a picture of something that is happening currently. I don't want to see this is me from 3 years ago going water skiing. That wouldn't be if you go water skiing this week, just take a photo of yourself doing that, or something along those lines. Any questions about the play demonstration? The photo is not part of the table. No, this is a separate activity. It is a attendance activity. What if you go swimming at the gym? Take a picture of the pool. You can say, "Here's me in a swim cap and goggles." Something like that. Yeah, you'll upload it in the play demonstration, activity 1.6. So yeah, there should be a photo and a description. Yes. I'll scroll through, browse for raised hands. Jasmine, did you have a question?
Oh, I did have a question.
Yeah, go right ahead.
My question was, well, I'm kind of late to the game, I guess. So I just saw your page. Like, I had my own, Google Chrome up, so I couldn't see the actual video of what you were doing. So I just heard everybody's voices in the group chat.
Oh, okay.
And so I recently just found out you have your own thing that you're doing. And then the chart, where did you make the chart?
I made it in down here I made it in the feedback section, but you would make it, there's a post section where you can do that. You just, you'd click on it to, my computer's acting funny, but right, you just click down here and you hit table. You can go back and rewatch this. I'll post the archive of this video, so you can go back and watch it again. But you hit the table button and you can start adding rows and columns and make yourself a table that looks roughly like, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I see your screen.
Yeah, just make yourself a table that looks like this, but the actual step-by-step is in the archive. So feel free to go back and rewatch it if you want.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Professional picture of play. I think is if there's a question about that, I think what what is important about it doesn't have to be a professional photograph. What I'd really say is make sure you're professional about the photo and about the play activity. I discussed this with my class the other day. Professionalism in this sense of the word means, appropriate to share in class. And, if your ideas for play are, don't put anything that's illegal in there. Something that if, you were shown to your grandma, you wouldn't have a problem with, or your potential employer. Just kind of keep professionalism. You can play video games and that's cool and that's great. No problem. But just kind of things that are, keep it professional. If you need a refresher on professionalism, you can reach out to your instructor and say, hey, if you have a question about whether or not something is unprofessional, you can always ask. Chances are, if you have to ask, it might be unprofessional, but I would rather people ask that question than make assumptions and make posts and post things that are unprofessional or would cause them to lose professionalism points. If you don't post your work, I don't think it saves. I think it will delete it. So make sure that you make it and you post it. Even if you have to go back and edit it afterwards, you can edit these piecemeal and show up. You can kind of build on your post. So don't be afraid to kind of start working on a post and do some of it, and then go back and continue it a little bit further later on. Okay, I mentioned to my class that we'd be talking about team activities later on the week, so I'm not going to get super far into that. I know everyone handles those a little bit differently. Again, brain teasers, make sure that you get your brain teaser completed. Yes, Buckman, you can start your post and then finish it later. Absolutely. And yes, the other question, the initial post and the photo are two separate things. The initial post is part of the table, right? Yeah. And another question about, you can just, right, if you go back and make edits, you can do that. That's fine. Kind of, if you submit to separate things, just let your instructor know which one's your final post, so on and so forth. Again, the brain teasers, they're open book. Make sure that you do them. If you mess up how you delete table, the drop down menu has actually like in the table menu, you can scroll down to delete table, delete row, delete column, just select the one you want and delete it. Can we go ahead and turn in the table post? Yes, absolutely. So right, again, tests are open book. Make sure that you're reading the notes ahead of time. So the chart itself is due Thursday, but the replies to your peers due Sunday night. So the chart and the answering the questions. So make your table and answer the questions. And that is due Thursday. So make sure that you have something that looks like this. One, outline your play activities for the week. Make your table. Answer these questions. That post is due Thursday. Everything, in addition to that, the 3 responses using the RISE model for giving feedback is due by Sunday. There will be a video lecture each week, but I do not believe that each week, this assignment is roughly the same each week. So no, they won't go back through. It would be more of a content-driven lecture, and this is more of an informational-driven lecture. So you can always ask questions about the assignments in the weekly go-to training, but it won't necessarily be covered explicitly like this. This week, I realized no one has necessarily had this experience before, so I want to make sure everyone knows and can read it. Same time for each lecture, same day, exactly, different instructor. So next week, you'll have someone else, and so on and so forth. All right, so I think that pretty much gets us up to speed. The bonus material is just that. It's a bonus. You can read it. If you really want to dive a little deeper into a topic, you can go in there and check it out, but it's not mandatory. But yeah, that's roughly what this week should look like. I hope this was helpful for everybody. I'm going to go through real quick and just check for a few more questions before you go back to creating a table. Yeah, you can always rewatch this video if you want, but right, so the table's here. With the table button, you just click on it and you start adding rows and columns as is needed. Every week will be different. Yes, you're correct. When you're building the table, it might be a little bit hard because it might not, the column lines might not show up, but they're there, so you can use the arrow keys to navigate around in that. Tyler says you can highlight the box and see the table. Excellent. So There we go. Let's see. Okay, well that works. For 1.6, where do we enter a description for the image? I actually would say maybe like in a Word document or a Pages document, I'd post the picture and then I would post the words, or in the in the response section. You could just I would do it that way. You could, if you wanted to, just drop an image into the completion, and then in the feedback, you could put a description if you want to do it in two separate places, but you can just make it all in one Word document and just submit that. Oh, upload a document with both. Yeah, that's good. Tyler, your hand is up. Did you have a question? Oh, that was it. Okay, I unmuted you. You can, you'll probably get unmuted. You can go back and mute yourself if you want. Jasmine, do you have another question? I saw your hand is up again.
No, I don't have a question. I thought I put it down.
Okay, no worries. All right, any more questions? I see another hand up. Amanda? Juliano? Oh, D'Anthony, it might just be, you might just need to scroll over on your table. That might be it. It might just be, mine gets that way, and you see down at the bottom, you just scroll over to the right a little bit, and that seems to fix it. Triana? Yeah, what is your question? Triana, are you there? I unmuted you. You could talk if you want. Oh, never mind. I cannot hear you. That is correct. Yeah, but feel free. Jump in with your question. It looks like your microphone might not be working, so I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, just I would type your question though. It's probably the easiest way to get moving. While we're doing that, Daniel, do you have a question?
No.
Okay, then I'll go back to muting you. Alrighty, let's see. Going through, checking for more hands. Okay, I don't see any more. I think we're good. Trina, just take your time. Happy to. Here we go. All things we discussed are for items and assignments due only this week. Yes, everything we've talked about is for this week's assignments. You are correct. So right, you can go and check on what your week looks like. So here's everything. The E3 Essentials is due tomorrow, Thursday, as well as your initial post for the discussion board. Everything else would be due Sunday at 11:59 p.m. All right. If there are any more questions, I'd be happy to field them. But otherwise, that's as much as I have content-wise. So you're free to go if you don't have any additional questions. If you do, feel free to just drop them in the chat box. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here. It was great. Yeah, thanks everybody. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're all most welcome. I was glad you're here. To everyone in section 3, I'll see you in class tomorrow. Everybody else, I hope you have a great rest of your month 1. Thanks everybody. Yeah, thanks everybody. Have a great day. Awesome. Happy to shed light on things for everybody.